landlord is so blind to think so, but I dare swear she has better blood in her veins.
Why dost think so?
Because the baggage has a pert je ne sais quoi. She reads plays, keeps a monkey, and is troubled with vapors.
By which discoveries I guess that you know more of her.
Not yet, Faith. The lady gives herself airs, forsooth nothing under a gentleman.
Let me take her in hand.
Say one more word of that, and I'll declare myself. Spoil your sport there, and everywhere else. Look ye, and while every man in his own sphere.
Right, and therefore you must pimp for your master.
In the usual forms, good sir, after I have served myself. But to our business. You are so well dressed, Tom, and make so handsome a figure, that I fancy may you do execution in a country club church. The exterior part strikes first, and you're in the right. No, make that impression favorable.
There's something in that which may turn to advantage. The appearance of a stranger in a country church draws as many gazers as a blazing star. No sooner he comes to the cathedral, but a train of whispers runs buzzing round the congregation in a moment. Who is he? Whence comes he? Do you know him? Then I, sir, tips me the verger with half a crown. He pockets the simony and instructs me into the best view into the church. I pull out my snuff-box, turn myself round, bow to the bishop, or the dean, if he be the commanding officer, single out of beauty, rivet both my eyes to her, set my nose a-bleeding by the strength of imagination, and show the whole church my concern by my endeavoring to hide it. After the sermon, the whole town gives me to her for a lover, and by persuading the lady that I am dying for her, the tables are turned, and she is in good earnest falls in love with me.
There's nothing in this, Tom, without a precedent, but instead of riveting your eyes to a beauty, try to fix them upon fortune. That's our business at present.
Pshaw, no woman can be a beauty without a fortune. Let me alone, for I am a marksman.
Tom, when you were at church before, pray?
I was there at the coronation.
And how can you expect a blessing by going to church now?
Blessing? Nay, Frank, I ask but for a wife.
Truly the man is not very reasonable in his demands. Well, daughter, as the saying is, have you brought Martin to confess?
Pray, father, don't put me upon getting anything of a man. I am but young, you know, father, and I don't understand wheedling.
Young? Why, you jade? As the saying is, can woman wheedle that is not young? Your mother was useless at 5 and 20. Not wheedle. Would you make your mother a whore and me a cuckold, as the saying is? I tell you in his silence confess it, and his master spends the money so freely, in so much a gentleman, every manner of way, that he must be a highwayman.
Landlord, is the coast clear?
Oh, Mr. Gibbet, what's the news?
No matter, ask no questions. All fair and honest, Abel. Here, my dear cherry, 200 sterling pounds, as good as any that ever hanged or saved a rogue leg, abide with the rest. And here, 3 wedding or mourning rings. 'Tis much the same, you know. Here, 2 silver hilted swords. I took them from a fellow that never shows any part of their sword, but the hilts. Here is a diamond necklace, which the lady told in the privatest place in the coach, but I found it out. This gold, which I took from a pawnbroker's wife, it was left in her handbag. A person of equality. There's arms upon the case. But who had you the money from? Ah, poor woman, I pitied her. From a poor lady just eloped from her husband. She had made up her cargo and was bound for Ireland as hard so she could drive. She told me of her husband's barbarous usage, and so I left her half a crown. But I had abundant toward God, my dear cherry. I have a present for you. What is it? A pot of cerberus, my child. I took it out of the lady's under pocket. What, Mr. Gibbet? Do you think that I paint? Why, you jade, you betters do. I am sure that a lady took it from a coronet upon her handkerchief. Here, take my cloak and go secure the premises. I will secure him.
But hark ye, where's Cousin Lord Bagshot?
They'll be here tonight.
Do you know of any other gentlemen of this common road?
No.
I fancy that 2 have lodged in this house just now.
The devil? How do you smoke them?
Why, the one is going to church,
That's suspicious, I must confess.
and the other now in his master's chamber. He pretends to be a servant to the other. We'll call him out and come with him
With all my heart.
Mr. Martin, Mr. Martin.
I'm as dirty as old Redford at Christmas. A good pretty fellow that. Whose servant are you, then?
My master's.
Really?
Really.
That's much. The fellow has been at the bar by his occasion. But pray, sir, what is your master's name?
Doll. This is the most obstinate curl.
I ask you his name?
Name, sir? Doll. I never asked him his name in all my life. Doll. What think you now?
Plain. He talks now as if he were before a judge. But pray, friend, which way does your master travel?
On horseback.
Very well again. An old offender, right? But I mean, does he go upwards or downwards?
Downwards, I fear, sir. Tall.
I'm afraid my fate will be a contrary way.
Ha. Mr. Martin, you're very arch. This gentleman is only traveling towards Chester, and will be glad of your company, that's all. Come, Captain, you'll stay tonight, I suppose. I'll show you a chamber. Come, Captain.
Farewell, friend.
Captain, your servant. Captain, a pretty fellow, Sidda. I wonder if the officers in my arm will conspire to bear all scoundrels in bread but their own.
Gone, and Martin here? I hope he did not listen. I would have the merit of the discovery all my own, because I would oblige him to love me. Mr. Martin, who was that man with my father?
Some recruiting sergeant, or whipped-out trooper, I suppose.
All safe, I find.
Come, my dear, have you conned over the catechise I taught you last night?
Come, question me.
What is love?
Love is I know not what, it comes I know not how, and it goes I know not when.
Very well, an apt scholar. Where does love enter?
Into the eyes.
And where go out?
I won't tell you.
And what are objects of that passion?
Youth, beauty, and clean linen.
The reason?
The two first are fashionable in nature, and the third at court.
That's my dear. What are the signs and tokens of that passion?
A stealing look, a stammering tongue, words improbable, designs impossible, and actions impracticable.
That's my good child. Kiss me. What must a lover do to obtain his mistress?
He must adore the person that disdains him. He must bribe the chambermaid that betrays him, and court the foreman that laughs at him. He must.
Nay, child, I must whip you if you don't mind your lesson. He must treat his...
Oh, aye, he must treat his enemies with respect, his friends with indifference, and all the world with contempt. He must suffer much, fear more, he must desire, and hope little. In short, he must embrace his ruin and throw himself away.
Had ever man so hopeful a pupil as mine? Come, my dear, why is love called a riddle?
Because being blind, he leads those that see, and though a child, he governs a man.
Mighty well, and why is love pictured blind?
Because the painters, out of the weakness of their privilege of their art, chose to hide those eyes that they could not draw.
That's my dear little scholar. Kiss me again. And why should love, that's a child, govern a man?
Because that's a child at the end of love.
And so ends love's catechism. And now, my dear, we'll go in and make my master's bed.
Hold, Mr. Martin. You have taken a great deal of pains to instruct me. And what do you think I have learned by it?
What?
That your discourse and your habit are contradictions, and that would not be nonsense in me to believe you a footman any longer.
Oons, which it is?
Depend on this, sir. Nothing in this garb shall ever tempt me, for though I was born to your servitude, I hate it. Own your condition, swear you love me, and then...
And then we shall go make the bed?
Yes.
You must know, then, that I am born a gentleman. My education was liberal, and I went to London a younger brother, fell into the hands of sharpers who stripped me of my own money. My friends disowned me, and now my necessities bring me to what you see.
Then take my hand, promise to marry me before you sleep, and I'll make you master of 2,000 pounds.
How?
2,000 pounds that I have this minute in my own custody, so throw off your livery this instant, and I'll go find a parson.
What say you? A parson?
What? Do you scruple?
Scruple? No, but 2,000 pounds, you said?
And better.
Sidda, what shall I do? But hark ye, child, what need you make me master of yourself and money, when you may have the same pleasure out of me and still keep your fortune in your hands?
Then you won't marry me?
I would marry you, but...
Oh, sweet sir, I'm your humble servant. You're fairly caught. Would you persuade me that any gentleman who could bear the scandal of wearing livery would refuse 2,000 pounds, let the condition be what it would? No, sir. But I hope you'll pardon the freedom I have taken, since it was only to inform myself of the respect that I ought to pay you.
Fairly bit by Jupiter, hold. Have you actually 2,000 pounds?
Sir, I have my secrets as well as you. Then please be more open. I shall be more free. and be assured that I have discoveries that will match yours. Be what they will. In the meanwhile, be satisfied that no discovery I shall make will ever hurt you, but beware of my father.
So, we'd like to have as many adventures in our inn as Don Quixote had in his. Let me see, 2,000 pounds? If the wife would promise to die when the money were spent, egad, one would marry her. But the fortune may go off in a year or two, and the wife may live, Lord knows how long. Then an innkeeper's daughter, aye, that's the devil. There my pride it brings me off. For whatsoever the sages charge on pride, the angels fall and 20 faults beside. On earth I'm sure, among us of mortal calling, pride saves man oft, and woman too from falling.